Hi everyone, this is Gretchen from the Hotchkiss Library of Sharon, and I'm finally back with some more book buzz for you. It's March 2023, a huge month for new books this year, and this video will tell you about some of our new nonfiction that we're excited about in early March. These are on the shelf ready for you to read right now. First off, we have a really interesting, fun, and thought-provoking look at two twin sisters who were photographers in New York City in the golden age of photography, when it was still unusual for women to be successful in that field. And they worked in New York in the 1940s and 50s. Carol Kino has done this biography and historical look at the McLaughlin twins, who came to New York and were very pivotal in photography in the 40s and 50s. Double Click by Carol Kino. Next, we have a book by Liza Mundy, who some of you may remember was the author of Code Girls, which was a very interesting group biography about women in the computer industry early on. And her new book is The Sisterhood, The Secret History of Women in the CIA. And it looks at the role of women who were referred to as the unlikely spies throughout the history of the CIA. Again, that's The Sisterhood by Liza Mundy. Burn Book, A Tech Love Story by Kara Swisher should prove to be really interesting. Kara Swisher is a very well-known journalist who has specialized in writing about tech. She's interviewed everybody who's anybody in tech and then some. And over the last 3 decades, she has worked for the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times, and she's a very popular podcaster. And this is part memoir and part history, looking back at what it's been like to cover the tech industry in the last 3 decades and where it's headed. Burn Book, A Tech Love Story by Kara Swisher. She was an op-ed writer for the Times for a while, so you may also be familiar with her from that. Next, we have Smoke and Ashes, Opium's Hidden Histories by Amitav Ghosh. He's a wonderful writer who has been awarded many prizes, I think 5 honorary doctorates. He won India's biggest literary prize, but he does live and work in the United States, where he's been for a very long time. And this is a history of the opium trade and industry over many centuries, how we've ended up in this horrible opioid crisis we're in now in the United States, and also a memoir partly about his family's own role in this when he looked back in his family history. He's a wonderful writer, well known for his novels and his trilogy, The Sea of Poppies, which was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. So I recommend Amitav Ghosh, anything that he writes. And last but not least, a serious look back at the Iraq War and the role of Saddam Hussein. This is the Achilles Trap, Saddam Hussein, the CIA, and the Origins of American Invasion of Iraq by Steve Cole. He's a very well-known journalist who takes on big, serious subjects. I heard him on a radio show briefly the other day, and this was fascinating. Apparently, Saddam Hussein recorded just about everything in his office, more so than Richard Nixon did, he said in the interview. And he talks about the Iraq War really being the result of the misunderstanding on both sides of the other side and what was happening and how that could have possibly happened. Apparently, Saddam Hussein really wanted to be a novelist, and in the later years of his reign, he was spending a great deal of time working on his fiction, and he actually published 2 novels. I had no idea. Anyway, The Achilles Trap by Steve Cole, highly recommended. So that's it for my early March nonfiction recommendations. I hope you'll come into the Hotchkiss Library and check them out. Thanks.